Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to something we haven't done in a little while on this show. And that's a crossover episode with my other live stream / podcast, Doomed with Matt Binder. This is a Scam Economy Doomed crossover episode, and it's about how the system is rigged. Now, we're in the political primary season, but we're not talking about politics here today on this episode. What we're talking about is Elon Musk's X, aka Twitter. And this all stems from, we could go really far back, but this episode basically stems from, I guess, going back to just really last week. Although we'll be mentioning some things that came before that. But I feel like I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Because what we're going to talk about today on this episode is basically how Elon Musk, in an effort to sort of paint over the many issues going on with X / Twitter, for example, you hear me calling it X / Twitter, or X aka Twitter, or X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. The emails I get from X still say in the sender, sometimes it just says Twitter, like the notification email, sometimes it just says Twitter. Sometimes it says X and in parentheses formerly Twitter. Yeah, that's one of the problems. But basically, Elon Musk, since acquiring Twitter in October of 2022, has really done a good job of messing a whole lot of things up. For example, the company once made $5 billion a year, mostly from ads, from advertisers. Now, I believe the estimates I saw puts it at roughly, maybe even less than half that. And the ad revenue has dropped dramatically. And from the various studies I've seen from all sorts of marketing firms and, web traffic companies that sort of are on the pulse of judging, estimating, figuring out where websites are headed. Twitter, aka X, is heading in a downward trajectory over the next few years, to say the least. But anyway, what I was saying was, because of all these failures, Elon Musk suddenly has decided to sort of paint everything that's going on as, these are just the growing pains. The growing pains for a platform that's becoming a video platform that's competing with YouTube and TikTok all of a sudden. It's the everything app, Elon Musk has been saying, and they're doing various things to bring in financial services onto the platform. But whenever they're up there on stage, when I'm talking Elon Musk or CEO Linda Yaccarino, they focus so much on the revived video aspects of X, how they're reconfiguring everything to focus more on video. And you could tell based on, whenever Elon Musk gets involved personally, what is he doing? He's live streaming Diablo to test out X's live streaming functionalities. Or when, we mentioned on last week's CES episode of Doomed, when Linda Yaccarino headed to Las Vegas to make some X-related announcements at a panel she was talking at, the big reveal was that X signed 3 video creators to exclusive video deals. Don Lemon, the former CNN host, Jim Rome, a sports radio guy, and Tulsi Gabbard. I don't even know how to describe Tulsi, a former congresswoman turned Fox News contributor, I guess. They're making video content. They she went to the tech conference, the biggest tech conference in the world, to make these video entertainment announcements, but that's what they viewed as important to focus on. So Elon has this vision where video is heavily centered on X. And you might have noticed over the past year or so that every now and then Elon will jump into creators' mentions, like big creators. And a lot of those creators are right-wing influencers who Elon is a fan of, but all sorts of people who are big online, who Elon would benefit from if they started creating content and uploaded it specifically or exclusively, or at least in tandem on X, along with the other platforms they use as well. And one of those creators just happens to be the biggest YouTuber on the planet, MrBeast. I found at least 2 tweets from Musk where he replies to someone replying to MrBeast, basically saying, MrBeast, you should upload your content to X. And so now, as I've just laid down basically the groundwork of where this is all going, let's get to what was just revealed recently. Well, actually, first. I'm doing a little tease here, aren't I? Not purposefully, though. I'm getting ahead of myself again. So let's actually just go back, not as far back, but let's go a little bit back to December of last year, December 2023. So it was just last month. We're getting closer. MrBeast actually went ahead and replied to one of Elon's posts about MrBeast uploading to X. And MrBeast basically said, I can't do that because I don't know. I don't think I could. Let me pull up exactly what he said, just so I get it down completely correctly. Okay, so MrBeast says, my videos cost millions to make, and even if they got 1 billion views on X, it wouldn't fund a fraction of it. Frowny, smirky face. I'm down, though, to test stuff once monetization is really cranking. This is December 30th, 2023. Now, it makes sense. MrBeast makes a lot of money on YouTube. And how YouTube pays is fairly straightforward. If you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on your channel, you can monetize your YouTube channel. You can apply for monetization at least, and then YouTube approves. You basically have to create original content, don't reuse content, don't upload other people's content. Just create your own content, and you'll get monetization. And how YouTube pays is also fairly straightforward. Advertisers pay YouTube to air videos and other ads on creators' YouTube content. YouTube pays users for a specific amount for every 1,000 views that video gets, called CPM. Now, how much they pay per CPM depends on the type of content you make and what advertisers are advertising on your content. So, for example, if you are making financial content, stock market content, get rich content, like a lot of the hustle bros do, that's why they make that content, you will get paid a lot more per 1,000 views, because the advertisers who advertise products in those niches pay a lot more to advertise. And then, it goes down the list. If you are, creating content for, I hate to say it, a less in-demand group of people, like pro wrestling fans like I am, then your content will get a lot less per CPM. For example, let's say your a finance channel makes $40 per CPM. So, if you get 100,000 views, that's a good chunk of change. However, a wrestling channel, maybe they get $4 per CPM. That's not as much money, so they don't get as much for 100,000 views. But the system is fairly straightforward. And obviously, I'm just talking about the monetization program that's based on revenue share. I'm not talking about, third-party sponsorships channels get and things like that. This is just directly from YouTube's monetization program, and not counting things like, super chats on live streams and memberships and stuff. This is just the ad rev share portion of the monetization program. On Twitter, aka X, see how this works? No one even knows what the frig the platform's called. Anyway, on Elon Musk's platform, the way creator monetization works is not so straightforward. First of all, to get monetized, you need to first be an X Premium or X Premium Plus or verified organization subscriber. So that means you need to be first paying money to Elon Musk and company to get monetized to be considered for monetization in the first place. X Premium costs $8 a month. X Premium Plus costs $16 per month. Verified organizations costs, on last I checked, I know they're rolling out a cheaper plan, but the original plan that still exists is $1,000 per month. So you need to do that to get verified. And then from there, you need to get something like, I think it's like 5 million impressions each month. And then you could apply for monetization. Maybe they've updated the amount of impressions or whatever, but you need a certain amount of impressions. And I think followers too. It's been like a month or two since I last checked. But then this is where it gets really weird. The X monetization pays you ad revenue share, but only for the Twitter ads that show up in the replies to your tweet. So, when you click on a tweet to open it up full screen, full page, get on the tweet page itself, not like your regular feed, like the tweet page where the single tweet is in focus and then all the replies are under it. Only the ads that show up amid those replies count towards your monetization. And then on top of that, only other X verified, the subscribers, people with the blue check marks who pay for Premium, Premium Plus, or the gold check marks with the verified organization subscription, only their views count towards the advertising monetization for creators. So you can't even sort of tell how much you're going to make generally, like estimate, based on how many views, which on Twitter are actually impressions. It says, when it says views on your tweets, it's not actually views like YouTube views. That's just how many times a tweet shows up in someone's feed. And someone searches for something, they can just scroll right past it, but it showed up. You get an impression. But you can't even tell because there's no way to tell which of those impressions count towards monetization because, again, only paying subscribers count towards your monetization. So you have no clue what your tweets are worth, what your content is worth. So that's like what MrBeast is sort of referencing here. It's been all over the place. When the X monetization program first launched, Musk's favorite creators that he always interacted with, they were walking away with thousands and thousands of dollars a month. Some people I saw were making as much as $10,000. I saw one meme page made $100,000. I believe I last saw from just reposting other people's memes and content. Like, they don't even care on Twitter. At least YouTube makes sure you're actually just creating your own stuff and not just stealing it from other people to get rich quick. You actually have to create something on YouTube. On Twitter, you can repost whatever you want and get paid for it. So, that's what MrBeast was talking about. But then suddenly, all of a sudden, we're now fast forwarding to the current day. Thanks for sticking with me. But then all of a sudden, last week, on January 15th, MrBeast decided to actually directly upload a video to X. He posted the video. The video was an older YouTube video of his that he posted a few months ago, so it wasn't even new content, but he posted an old YouTube video of his, a dollar car versus $100 million car. And with that post, he writes, "I'm curious how much ad revenue a video on X would make. So I'm re-uploading this to test it. We'll share ad revenue next week." Okay. So Elon Musk won. Right there, Elon Musk won a battle. That was a big deal for Musk. And X as a whole, really. MrBeast relented. He gave in to Musk's requests. And he uploaded a video directly. And you can tell that Elon Musk and company were quite excited because they did everything they could to promote this video. Elon Musk shared it to, I think he has 169 million followers right now. He shared it to his 169 million followers. The official X account shared MrBeast's video. And how many subscribers do they even have? I don't even know anymore. When's the last time we even went to that? They have 67 million subscribers. And jeez. And so I said geez because I'm just looking at the following of both Elon Musk and X. And how they basically, Elon has more followers now, 170 million. But when he sent out the Elon Musk, when he shared the MrBeast video, he had 169 million. I'm not going to really think a million did much difference. But, but, they really wanted people to watch this video. And so it very quickly started gaining traction. And all of a sudden, a few days into it, I don't even think it was a few days, maybe like a day into it, X users started to report that they were seeing the MrBeast video a lot in their feed. And it wasn't via retweets. It wasn't via recommendations from the algorithm because someone they followed liked MrBeast's tweet, and that sometimes pushes the algorithm to serve you that tweet in your feed as a recommendation. It was just showing up in their feed they didn't follow MrBeast. They had no connection to the MrBeast account or that tweet. And then users started noticing something different as the tweet continued to just show up in their feed over and over and over and over again. The tweet didn't show the time code on it. Like, if you look at your Twitter feed or your X feed, I'm going to do that throughout this show because it's just, I can't help myself. If you look at your Twitter/X feed, you'll notice that every tweet that's organically served to you, whether it be because you follow the user or is retweeted or liked by someone you follow, or the algorithm is recommending it to you because you have some connection to that user or tweet, they show the time code on the post to show you when it was posted. The MrBeast tweet didn't have that time code. You know what the only type of post on Twitter that shows up in your feed doesn't show the time code? Promoted tweets. paid promoted tweets, aka Twitter/X advertisements. Posts that are paid for, thus becoming X ads. Because remember, on Twitter, traditionally I should say at least, because I know Musk and company are trying out different things with how ads show up on Twitter. But traditionally, and for the most part, this is still how most X ads show up. Ads on X are just posts that have been paid to be promoted. And you know this because there is a promoted or ad label on those posts when they're being served to you as an advertisement, and the time code is missing. And then also, if you press the little hamburger drop-down button on the upper right-hand side of each tweet, one of the options that you see alongside the options you see for every tweet, like mute this tweet, mute this user, whatever it is, but one of the options that you only see on advertisement tweets is the option to click not interested in this ad. So those MrBeast posts that were permeating and just filling up everyone's feeds on X, they did not have the time code. They did not say promoted or ad. Labels, which I might add, are required by the FTC. If you are if it's an ad on a website or an ad on social media. But users notice that when they click the drop-down hamburger button, it's the ellipsis actually in this case. The hamburger icon is something different. That's the 3 lines. On Twitter, it's the ellipsis, When they click the ellipsis button, the drop-down gave them the option to say not interested in this ad. So I reported months earlier that this was happening on other ads on Twitter. And this had never happened before. Now, Ryan Broderick of the Garbage Day newsletter, he actually got a response when he noticed this from an ex-employee. And what they said was that because pre-roll video ads were playing on MrBeast's uploaded video, and when you play the video, it says over the pre-roll ad that this is an advertisement, that means they were labeling the ad. So an ad or promoted label on the tweet itself was not necessary. Now, I don't know who they're trying to fool there, but I can tell you that's not some sort of sneaky out in labeling ads as ads. I'm sorry. This is just the case. Because think about it. Pre-roll is the ad in this case. Okay? If you are also promoting the post itself in users' feed, then the post itself, if it's not being organically recommended by the algorithm or not showing up because the user follows that person, it is an ad. The post itself is an ad. And then the video in the embedded, the video ad in the embedded video on that post is a separate ad. You don't get to double dip here. YouTube doesn't promote. Think about it. YouTube doesn't promote YouTube creators' content as advertisements, not label it, and then say, oh, the pre-roll ad on that video is the advertisement. No. When you see an ad in your YouTube sidebar, that's because the main content, the video that they're promoting to you is the ad. You know what I mean? Let me put it this way. When you go to youtube.com and when you see a sponsored ad, it's not like, I I don't know. Here's who's a big creator, MrBeast. You don't see a MrBeast ad on your YouTube sidebar and then click it, and then it opens up the MrBeast video, but the ad isn't actually the MrBeast video. It's the pre-roll video on the MrBeast YouTube video. That's not how it works. M&M's, for example, just advertises directly on the sidebar. That's the video you see, the M&M's video. Not the MrBeast video that isn't the ad, but the M&M video pre-roll. It sounds very confusing. I hope you're following. But that's just how ridiculous X's thought process is here. And I have a strong feeling that the FTC is not going to agree with the way X is running things. Because I know that the ad tech watchdog organization, Check My Ads, has already opened up a complaint with the FTC over how X is running ads based on, a report I did months ago about how posts were being showing up in people's feed that were ads that were not being labeled ads or not being labeled as promoted. So there was a lot going on here to promote MrBeast's video. And just this week, MrBeast actually delivered. He went ahead and he went ahead and he shared exactly how much he made. And how much he made is quite a lot. If you thought those Musk faves who made like $10,000, $15,000 through X monetization every month or so were rolling in the dough, then you're going to think that MrBeast is really making out like Scrooge McDuck, I guess you can say. MrBeast said, "My first X video made over $250,000. That's after 1 week." And he posted a screenshot that showed that he received more than 156 million impressions. He had over 5 million engagements, retweets, likes, quote tweets, things like that. And that the exact revenue of this video was $263,655. Over $263,000. So that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But MrBeast continued with, and I appreciate him doing this, although I think he was sort of missing a few major points that I'll get into in a moment. But MrBeast said, "But it's a bit of a facade. Advertisers saw the attention the video was getting, and bought ads on my video, I think, and thus my revenue per view is probably higher than what you'd experience." Now, I'm just looking at what he said again, because it really is astonishing that MrBeast sort of seems to be missing out. I appreciate him, adding that addendum, because people will view this MrBeast success story for MrBeast and go, "Oh man, I can make that much on X." And luckily, MrBeast doesn't seem to be one of those hustle bros selling a how to get rich ebook for $300 or a $1,997 course on how you too can get rich on X. So I appreciate that. But let me sort of break down what's going on here. So yes, he's right. Advertisers saw what was going on. I mean, it was MrBeast's first direct upload to Twitter. Elon Musk and the official X account both shared the video. I mean, you're going to get maximum views on your ad if you were the advertiser before MrBeast's content. And right away, the second he uploaded that video, Shopify, the huge e-commerce platform, Shopify started running ads like immediately on that MrBeast video. And why did they do that? Well, because they knew it was going to be uploaded, it seems like, because they are partnered with MrBeast directly. And on top of that, they have a video ad with MrBeast in it. So it worked out pretty great for them because they just ran their Shopify ad featuring MrBeast before MrBeast's first video upload to X. So, they certainly made out, I'm sure. And MrBeast made out through that video. There was basically always an ad running because Shopify made sure of it. And then it seems like you also had other advertisers who were bidding above or outbidding Shopify so they could temporarily place their ads on MrBeast content too. I think I saw that the right-wing PragerU was running ads on MrBeast content for a bit. Always the opportunists, right? So, yeah, MrBeast is right. And it's very likely that MrBeast videos, or most of MrBeast videos, I should say, won't receive, if he continues to upload them to X, won't receive anywhere near the same attention. They still will receive a lot of attention. He is MrBeast, huge creator. But they won't receive as much attention. I mean, they were headlines and news stories and media coverage. And, of course, the whole, new media world, the tech industry, the creator industry, they were all paying attention to this. And who knows if Elon Musk will share every MrBeast video like he does Tucker Carlson's videos. But, yeah, this was a one-off, even by MrBeast standards. So he's right about that. That's one of the reasons why he made so much money. But he's missing the main point here. And I don't know if he purposefully didn't mention this or he just doesn't know. But here's the thing. You know that X monetization program that I mentioned to you earlier? The one where you have to sign up for X Premium, pay to subscribe. And I forgot to mention that there's also a pool monthly of how much money goes out. That's how to determine how much goes out. Elon Musk has a pool of revenue that all the creators share in. I think it's like 5 million or something. That all the creators share in each month. And that's how your views are determined. The view per monetization is determined. If you're questioning where the pool comes from. My assumption is that, interestingly enough, the subscription revenue, at least when the monetization program first started paying out, the subscription revenue, interestingly, pretty much lined up perfectly based on third-party estimates that I was using and reporting with, were basically lining up perfectly with the amount that was put in that pool. So it's sort of like, creators pay Elon Musk and company, and then to get more creators to sign up for the subscription program, they turn around and pay off, using that money, the most successful and biggest creators, and in turn perpetually convince more people to sign up so they could pay out, sort of like, I don't know, something we cover a lot on Scam Economy. That's, sort of like a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi. I'm not saying that this is, but we cover, again, on Scam Economy, Ponzi's and pyramid schemes. And this is very reminiscent of that. If that is indeed how X is deciding that pool of revenue, and not just basing it on how much advertisers are paying them and then giving creators a cut of that, like pretty much every other social media platform with a creator monetization program works, like YouTube, for example. But, okay. That aside, though. So, remembering that X monetization program that we discussed earlier, and I just discussed more right now, I think a lot of creators thought that, we're going to find out, and they're talking about it online, like Elon Musk's fans, even his right-wing simps and all the people, that his reply guys and his Tesla fanboys, they're all kind of miffed, actually. They're all a little bit peeved and pissed because they think that MrBeast took from their creator monetization pool. And some of them were saying that their X monetization numbers this month were down, and they think it's because of MrBeast. And I mean, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's played a role. But here's the thing. We don't know how much MrBeast made from the X monetization program. Oh, but Matt, you just said he made over $250 million. We know how much he made from the X monetization program. Well, no, we don't. Because what was the exact amount again? That $263,655 payout MrBeast made in just 1 week, that actually is not from the X monetization program that the vast majority of X creators have access to if they're a paying subscriber, obviously. That's not the same program. So, MrBeast ran this test to sort of show people how much creators like him and all of you could potentially make on X. But again, I don't know if he realizes this. He made this money off an invite-only program that has existed before Elon Musk acquired the company, that only has around 200 plus people, or accounts, I should say, in this special program. So there's a program, a little-known program on X called Amplify. And like I said, it used to be called Twitter Amplify because it existed well before Musk. And this Amplify program is specifically related to those pre-roll videos that aired before MrBeast's video. Now, Twitter/X pays creators who are considered publishers if they're invited into the Amplify program revenue share based on those pre-roll videos, much like YouTube does, much like TikTok and Facebook does. And that's what MrBeast is sharing. That $263,000 came from those pre-roll videos that were airing before his uploaded content nonstop for that whole week. And that's why he made that much. The facade isn't just all the attention his video was getting. The facade is that he was invited into a program that only the biggest brands have access to. The system, like I said, was rigged in his favor. Literally, and I know this because I know companies that are part of the Amplify program. And these are huge publishers. These are big companies. Like some of the biggest websites in the world are part of this Amplify program. And there's only 200 plus members of this Amplify program. This is publishers. There's unlimited advertisers. You want to pay for a video ad, they'll accept your money. But they only let, again, that you have to be invited into this program, and only the biggest publishers have been invited. The biggest publishers, and I guess creators like MrBeast, who Elon Musk is trying to woo to post more on X. And, X obviously knew that all eyes were on MrBeast and how his content would perform. And if he reports that he made a ton of money, more creators will obviously flock to the platform thinking that they too can replicate MrBeast's success or even some percentage of it. And that's not the case. Because I have spoken with big creators, not as big as MrBeast, but big creators who get tens of millions, sometimes even hundreds of millions of impressions every month on X. And their payout every month ranges from tens of dollars to hundreds of dollars. Unless, again, you're one of Elon Musk's faves, and then it seems like you get a couple $1,000s a month. But whether you're making $20, $30, $40, $50 a month, or you're making $300, $400, $800 a month, or whether you're making $5,000, $10,000 a month from X, all those numbers are a world away from the $263,000 MrBeast made in 1 week. And that's because, again, he was invited to a program that 99.9% of X creators have no access to. And that's why they'll never make as much as MrBeast, regardless of how successful MrBeast is, regardless of all the attention that first video was getting and how all the advertisers were paying to be before him. Without access to that pre-roll video ad revenue share program, Amplify, where you actually get paid a percentage based on CPM every 1,000 views that those advertisers pay, you can never replicate the success with some arbitrary, the X monetization program that pays you some arbitrary number based on ads only in your tweet replies and only views by X premium subscribers count towards. And at the end of the pay period, they have to divvy out the pool evenly based on those views. So there's even a maximum limit that all creators combined could make. You'll never make anywhere near MrBeast for all those reasons. And I mean, what perfect encapsulation, what more of a perfect encapsulation, I should say, of the scam economy do you need? Thank you, MrBeast, I guess. All right, folks. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what MrBeast does going forward, right? It'll be really interesting to see what he does. You know, I mean, and you know, it sort of blew up in Musk's face too. I mean, I don't think anything's gonna, you know, make people leave. Like the you know, the blue checks aren't gonna cancel their membership solely because of the MrBeast monetization thing. I'm sure some people will realize that, like, oh man, it's not fair. But I mean, if you're a creator, you got to be looking at this and see just how, like, man, this is not a system. Like, literally, like, YouTube is a combination of luck. And even big YouTubers will say this. Like, you have to create content that hits at the right moment, at the right time, that hits all the right notes in the content, and you get lucky, and the algorithm picks it up and recommends it to people all over the place. And this is just the organic, recommendations. And, you know, anyone can actually replicate that. I've seen channels where on their first video, they get like 100, 200,000, even 1 million views because they created good content that just hit all the right notes and then the additional luck of getting it picked up by the algorithm. You can't replicate that on Twitter/X. It's nothing you can do creatively. It's nothing you can do strategically. It's nothing you can do even luck-wise. You can't game it, because you can't game your way into X, the company, inviting you into this Amplify program. I mean, maybe somewhere down the line, maybe even in the near future, X will open up Amplify to more creators where they can actually apply to become part of it. Who knows if that's what they're planning. But as of right now, January 2024, and all the years prior to this that Amplify has existed, that's not the case. Only the biggest publications, the biggest publishers, the like 0.1% of creators have been invited into this program. I think it's even 0.01% if you think about it. 200 plus publishers, according to Twitter itself. If you go to their Amplify page, it says they have 200 plus publishers. Those are the people who advertisers can publish their ads on, their pre-roll video ads. So yeah, that's how the X creator system is rigged. And that's why it was so important for us to get MrBeast on here so he can get MrBeast to report how much money he made, so other video creators and YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagram reelers and whatever you want to call yourself see this and go, oh, I should post on X too. Let's see if they figure it out, though. Let's see if they see this episode of Scam Economy and Doomed, the crossover episode of my two shows. All right. That's the episode, folks. I hope you got. I hope this was educational. I hope I hope parts of it weren't too confusing, because I do think much like we usually talk on Scam Economy when we're talking about crypto, it's like purposefully confusing to make you feel like, oh, I just don't get it because I'm not smart enough. So I'll just go with the people who do claim to get it and make the investments or take the actions they do. Because, they're successful, and I'll just do exactly what they're doing, and I'll become successful too. But in reality, it's just purposefully overcomplicated, just so you can feel like you're not smart enough to figure out what's really going on. And then, you know what they say about losers and their money and how easy it is to part ways. All right. Let's go to the second half of the stream, where I take your calls. I read your super chats. I read your Twitch chats. Yeah, let's do that. But first, folks, if you can support this show, I need you now more than ever, because this is the beginning of the year. People, they got to cut back. It's after the holidays. That Christmas bill is due. So, people had to make the decision to cancel some subscriptions. I get it. And their subscription to the Matt Binder Patreon is one of those subscriptions that a number of people had to cancel. Hopefully temporarily. But if you can afford to do so, go to patreon.com/MattBinder to become a paying monthly subscriber. I ask for no more than $5 per month. You could give less, you could give more. Your financial contribution helps this show grow. More live streams, more video content, more content overall. Like I've mentioned, I have a newsletter plan that's going to roll out very soon. That'll, I think you'll all enjoy. So, patreon.com/MattBinder to become a paying financial contributor. You can also, if you like YouTube and you like the YouTube live stream and you like seeing the member-only emojis in the YouTube live chat, then you might want to become a YouTube member in addition to the Patreon or instead of the Patreon. Patreon gives me a bigger cut of what you pay. Money is mine. I just knocked out my, hold on. I just messed up my mic. 1 second. Hello, check. There we go. See, folks, we're falling apart here. I need your support to fix the tech issues. So as I was saying, you go to youtube.com/MattBinder. If you're not already subscribe to the channel, that's free. Subscribe. You become a paying monthly YouTube subscriber as well via YouTube membership. Just click that join button on the channel page. You could also drop a one-off payment as a super chat. You also get a super chat with your membership too, by the way, in case you're wondering. And I read all super chats, membered super chats and one-off super chats in this second half of the live stream coming up. And then what else? Let's see what else. Oh yeah, on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch if you're not already doing that. You could subscribe on Twitch as well. And most importantly, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you should connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Because if you do that, Twitch gives you a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. That's a paid subscription to your favorite creator that comes, I guess you could say, pro bono with your Amazon Prime subscription. It costs you nothing extra. If you're paying for an Amazon Prime and you aren't giving your favorite creator that Twitch Prime subscription every month, you're letting Jeff Bezos keep more of your money than you should be. It makes no sense. Give it to your favorite creator. Any creator, really. I'm telling you this in hopes you give it to me, but I'd rather you give it to anyone than Bezos. So be sure to use that. And you have to manually resubscribe. You have to manually use that free Twitch Prime subscription every month. It's not automatically, it doesn't automatically resubscribe if it's the free Twitch Prime subscription. That's how Bezos gets you. You got to watch out for him. Very sneaky, that Jeff Bezos. What else? Yeah. Oh, if you want to subscribe to that newsletter before it officially launches, you could go to disruptionist.com. That's right. Like disruptionist, like arsonist, like anarchist, but disruptionist. Get it? Disruptionist.com. And you can subscribe to that's free to subscribe to the newsletter. Go there and do that. I will be rolling out premium content on the newsletter for paid subscribers, but there'll be plenty of freebie stuff too. So be sure to subscribe. And yeah, let's go to that second half of the show. If you want to call in, it's really easy to do so. Just open up Skype. You could do it via Skype on web too. You don't have to download anything. You just go to web.skype.com, I believe it is. Log in. It's free to create an account. Why do I use Skype? Because it's directly integrated into the live stream program I use. Literally, your Skype calls pop up. I press a button and you're on the stream with me. Super simple. That's why I use Skype. I know people want me to do a phone system and things like that. I'll get to it. I'll figure it out. That's what the Patreon. Help me out. That's where the Patreon money will go. But yeah, open up Skype. Search Doomed Live. Yes, if you're a Scam Economy fan and you don't watch my other show, you still got to search Doomed Live because that's the one username I use for the Skype calls. Doomed Live. And there you go. Go to doomedcast.com for the podcast version of the show. Go to scameconomy.com for the podcast version of that show. If you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're on Spotify, if you're on wherever you listen to podcasts and you haven't reviewed either of those podcasts yet, please take a minute or so to do so. It helps push us up the rankings, I should say. Helps more people discover the show. And with all that said, let's go to the second half of the show. If you are a Patreon, if you are a live stream viewer watching live right now, you don't have to go anywhere. The stream will pop up in the same stream. I'll be back in 1 second. Just going to refill my drink so I can keep going. I need my caffeine. Via soda, by the way. No, soda drinker, not a coffee drinker. But we'll go directly to the second half if you're watching now. Otherwise, if you're listening to the podcast version of the show, I will see you next time on Doomed, or I'll see you next time on the Scam economy.
Ecological collapse, corporate fascism, corporate journalism, police brutality, voter suppression, austerity economics, educate the masses, rampant homophobia,
What's up, Matt?
Hey,
You from Jamaica?
Dave from Jamaica. How are you doing, my friend? What are we going to talk about today?
I don't think you are exactly what you claim you are. I would say you're a conservative.
What president?
What makes you a liberal? I'm pro-Green New Deal.
Are you?
Yes, really? Absolutely. Really? No, I have watched the show. I've seen you completely come out and get really mad at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for some of the things in the Green New Deal.
You mean like free college for black people?
All right, we are back on the show. Welcome to the second half of the show, folks. We'll be doing, episodes about the primaries and stuff. The New Hampshire primary just happened. And speaking of which, let me take a call or two. I got a bunch coming in, and we'll get back to that in a second. Here we go. Hold on, coming up. All right, hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Matt. This is your favorite president.
Oh, my favorite president,
Your
FDR.
Better than
FDR.
Lincoln.
FDR from Beyond the Grave.
Excuse me. I'm talking. This is your favorite president. Hot off my amazing showing in New Hampshire. There's great people, great time, great victory, and especially we're getting rid of bird brain Nikki Haley.
Bird brain. I like that. I like that.
She's a bird brain. I mean, she's crazy. You look at her and there's something about her that I don't know. It just isn't, really American. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, it's very easy. It's very simple. But we got numbers last night in New Hampshire that no one has ever seen before.
Really?
We have numbers that even mathematicians can't even think about. They don't even know these numbers. They're so high. They're off the charts. We had a great showing in New Hampshire, Matt. I'm sure you saw it. I'm sure you saw my amazing speech.
You did have a really a big win in New Hampshire, especially being that was like the one state that Nikki Haley was going to try to make her move in. Like that was the one they spent lots of time on. That was going to be where the big showing was. And you beat her by like, what was it, 11 points? More than 11 points, I think. I mean,
well, you
and
say
it's
11,
New Hampshire, and it's New Hampshire too. It's the state
11.
that. What was that? I'm sorry
Go
for
ahead.
interrupting. I was gonna say it's New Hampshire too. It's not like it's a northeastern state. I mean, it's not exactly a conservative country.
It's the Trump magic. That's what it is, Matt. It's the Trump magic that's spreading across the nation.
I will say it is definitely spreading across the nation, which is certainly concerning for people who aren't fans of yours, I'm sure.
Well, who's not a fan of mine?
Wow. Antifa, for example, right?
Well, they're on the list.
Wait, what list?
Stephen Miller, my dear friend, a great American, a great patriot, Stephen Miller, is keeping a list. He's got a huge list.
A list
And
for
when I
what?
am reelected, when I am put back in the White House, we will eliminate the dentists, the Marxists, the Stalinists, the florists, the
Wait, the
fascists
dentist, the
who are trying
florists.
to take over this nation. Matt, they are invading. It's an invasion. They are invading,
What?
and we
Do
will take care of
what do you mean a list though? Like, what is he? What is Stephen Miller your elf? Are you Santa? What's going on
it.
here?
Look. Many people think I might be Santa because I've given so much to America, so much to Americans. It's been great. It's
Oh,
been great.
I
But
definitely
but
I teed that one up for you, didn't I, Mr. Trump?
absolutely you did, man. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. You're pretty good there. Maybe we'll have to take you off the list.
Oh, I'm on the list. That's not good. I don't want to be on
That's
lists.
no, I mean, I've been thinking about it. That's okay. That's okay. It's fine. But Matt, I really called in because there's something going on. There's something going on here in America.
What's going on?
And it's very sad that America is a failing nation.
Wait,
Our
Mr. Trump,
country
President, sir,
is no
sir.
longer livable.
Do you have background music playing behind you? Did you just cue up background music?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Our country is a failing nation. It's a failing nation, Matt. You look around, the Democrat-run cities burnt to the ground, no longer existing, looking like Europe after World War IV. The horrible, disgusting filth that accumulates even in a nation's capital. You drive around and there's just papers and things all over the place. It's horrible. Our country is being destroyed by Democratic district attorneys who let murderers just run free. Run free!
Sir, are you calling me from the Trump Tower elevator? Is that elevator music?
No, this is the QAnon music. Don't you
Oh.
watch my speeches?
Wait,
Don't
Mr.
you watch my
wait,
speeches?
hold on, Mr. President. I think this is your first time in quite some time where you've directly, and you haven't done it very much, directly referenced QAnon. Is this what is your opinion on QAnon, sir?
I think they're a bunch of patriots. I mean, they're against child pedophilia, traffic and stuff. And I admire that. So
What about your relations with Jeffrey Epstein?
look, there was nothing untoward about Jeffrey Epstein and I. Look, he likes his girls a little younger than I do. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. Now, if I may,
That's
if I
not
may,
okay. That's not okay.
our airports are failing. No one knows where your plane is, where or when it will depart,
What?
or when it will arrive. No one knows. And the floors are sticky. And you wind up having toilet paper on the back of your shoes. Walking around all day embarrassed, and no one will even tell you.
Sir, is this
And
why
this-
you wrote on Jeffrey Epstein's plane so you didn't have to deal with the DEI hired pilots that conservatives are going?
That you're damn right I was. Those pilots, I mean, they're a diversity hire. They don't test those pilots. They just take them out. They find, they look at a janitor or something. They say, oh, he's a black, and they say, oh, well, we should make him the airline pilot. And it's horrible. It's horrible. The planes are crashing. The planes are falling apart because of these people.
Sir,
Terrible.
There hasn't been a major U.S. There hasn't been a major U.S. airline crash. There's been 0 U.S. airline fatalities since 2009.
That's because we've been lucky. We've been lucky.
Well,
Matt.
that actually is part of it. That is part of it.
They're just putting in all of these horrible people who are totally unqualified. And then No one knows where the planes are. Well, who's flying them?
Wait, what do you mean?
Where
No one knows where the planes are. What do you mean no one knows where the planes are? What does that mean?
It's true. It's true. When was the last time you were in a commercial airport, Matthew?
I actually was in there a ton this month. I rarely travel. I rarely fly, but this month I flew from New York to Las Vegas for CES, and then I flew from Las Vegas to Austin, Texas for a wedding.
Disgusting.
And then I flew from Austin to back to New York City. So I mean, I've actually traveled quite a bit. I was in airlines. 2 out of the 3 flights were early, which rarely ever happens.
7th world country, Matt.
No, it was fantastic. It was probably
It was
probably the
you can
best.
Say what you like, but I'm hearing from many people that our airports are like a 7th, 8th world country. No one knows when the planes will arrive. And then
What does that mean?
you go to the McDonald's in the airport, and they don't have any fish o fillets. And they're being paid $15 an hour. And what's happening? You're getting no service at all.
Do you really want to
disgrace.
eat Do you really want to eat the fish sandwich at the airport though? I mean, really? I mean,
Look, they're delicious, Matt. Look, I have 4 or 5 of them a day. You know, my doctor, Ronnie Jackson, who's the White House doctor now. I mean, he said
now he's a
I could-
congressman now. He's a
he
congressman.
said, excuse me, I'm talking. Not only did he give me the cognitive test, which I aced. You know, they said, which one is the whale? And I was able to pick out the whale. Very tough. Not everybody can do this, man. I bet if you and I took the cognitive test, I would ace it. I would beat you so hard, so bad, you'd walk away crying like a little girl, and I'd send you home to mommy. I'd say, go home to mommy. Go home to mommy. But now, even the free speech of the leading presidential candidate in the Republican Party is being silenced. And we will have this no more. From now on, Trump, who will arrive and solve all the problems very quickly, says President Trump. We will do this very, very quickly. And with absolute presidential immunity. Because no president will ever get out of office alive. And when we beat Obama in November...
Wait, what? No president will get out of office alive?
Look,
What?
they're trying to prosecute me. That's why I need absolute, total, complete immunity from everything that I ever did and ever will do in the future. It's very simple, Matt. We can't have a country unless the chief has the power to do whatever he wants. It's a little thing called Article 2, and I don't even talk about it that much. And many people don't even talk about it that much. But I want to talk about it much, much more.
Should Joe Biden have that same power as president?
Excuse me?
Should Joe Biden have that same power as president?
No. This is for future presidents, of course.
Okay.
And our country can no longer survive unless the president has absolute, total, complete immunity to do everything. And we are living in a very special capital punishment death penalty. And that's the tough way. We will quick trial drug dealers and fascists and dentists and florists and Stalinists and Marxists and fascists who are trying to take over the country.
Could you give me an example of what you consider a fascist?
To the ground.
Could you give me an example of
to destroy America? We will have a country no more. You could try and put an air tag on the nation, but we will lose it. We will lose the country. It will be gone. Gone. You hear me?
Can you give me an example of what you consider a fascist to be? You're saying fascist, and I'm interested in knowing who's a fascist in your point of view.
Obama.
Obama. Okay.
Obama's a fascist.
All right.
Well, I mean, he's puppeteering Biden. But once we beat Obama in November, it's going to be much, much different. You're going to see things change very, very quickly.
Are you
Very
a
quickly.
are you a
Very
fascist?
quickly. No, I'm a patriot.
But didn't you
I
say you
think
wanted to be a
America first.
didn't you say you wanted to be a
America
dictator?
first. A dictator for a day. That's all I said.
Oh, okay.
Look,
It's okay to be
we
a
have
fascist
to-
for one day.
we have to. No, I'm not. I'm not a fascist. I'll be a dictator. That's all. Totally different. Totally, Matt. Look, stop the music here. It's a totally different thing. Okay?
Okay.
I am a dictator, so we can drill, baby, drill, and lock the border. No one at all will cross the border once I become president again.
What do you mean no one at all?
Well, we need to close the border. It's wide open right now.
What
so
about
no one
people
will cross the border?
What about people who go on overseas vacations? Are they allowed to come back?
Nope. No, once you leave, you can't come back in.
What if
a
Melania
new-
what if
It's a new voluntary leaving policy.
what if Melania wants to go visit her, as you put it, very lonely man father?
Well, he's very lonely now. He's looking up and he's saying, gosh, what am I missing? Maybe I should. No. But what's happening is that people are invading. Matthew, people are invading. They're destroying our nation. And I will come back and we will make America splunge again.
What does that
We
mean?
will make America squish again. We will make America swoosh again. And we will create America today again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was something else. I can't believe it. That was quite impressive. That whole monologue
thank-
there, Mr. Trump.
Thank you, Matt. It's become a regular at my rousing, uplifting campaign speeches.
So
Which we will be doing much, much more of them in West Carolina. We will be campaigning against Obama in East Virginia. We will be.
You're getting some of
we'll
these-
be win- I mean, it's going to be a landslide. I've talked to Tim Pool. He says it's going to be a 57-state landslide, and I'm really,
Oh.
I have numbers. We have numbers that are astounding, Matt. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. So get ready. It's Trump again. Trump 2024. Make America great again. See, it's my guy. I don't know. I'm going to have to check it out with the audience and see about my guy. But we'll be doing that very soon. And I'll be seeing you at a rally, Matt. I'm sure you'll be covering all my rallies along with the your great news magazine things, your crunchy tech and stuff. It's great. It's I appreciate it. I think you do great work. It's fine. Sometimes you're not very Trump, and that's fine. It's all right. It's all right. I'll allow it. It's fine.
Are you going to
But-
try to win me over, Mr. Trump, or you've already wrote me off?
Well, I don't know, Matt. If you don't vote Trump, there might be some problems. There might be some problems. We might have to put you back on the list. I'm going to call Stephen
Ooh.
Miller, ask him to go over this interview and see how Trump you are. If you're not very Trump, we're going to have to put you back on the list. So, look, I appreciate the time, Matt. I really do. It's been wonderful talking to you.
It's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure when you call in, Mr. Trump. You're my you might be my second favorite caller, right after, I hate to tell you this. We get calls, frequent calls too, from another presidential candidate, RFK Jr. You might be aware of him. He's running an independent campaign. He's the best caller into this show. You're second though.
Excuse me. He doesn't have any poll numbers. He's not running. He's not leading the pack. He's not going to be president and beat Obama in November. Look. I don't care who these other people are. They're losers.
He's a little
They're
bit more.
losers.
I got to be honest with you. He's a little bit more open with me. He tells me exactly how many times he's been flying around with Jeffrey Epstein. I think you're being a little bit on the
Look.
hush-hush about that. You're downplaying that a little bit too much.
Look, you're trying to rope me into some sort of nonsensical scheme or some scam or some hoax. It's a giant fat hoax. And I'm not going to let you do it, Matt. We're not going to let you do it.
Okay.
I mean, we may have to put you on an even worse list.
Ooh, what list would that be?
No, you better
The-
watch it. You better watch it.
The
But
Jeff Epstein Black Book list? Is that?
look, outside it's packed. Outside it's packed. There's so many people outside that, the miles and miles of, they're trying to get into this amazing place here in New Hampshire, and they can't get in. But I paid off the fire marshal, so we have 75 more people than are legally allowed in the venue. And, he's doing a great job, and hopefully no one starts a fire. But, if we do, whatever, it's all right. At least I'll have my time on camera. So I appreciate your time, Matt, and have a wonderful night. And remember, Trump 2024, make America great again, 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 again. All right?
I appreciate it, Mr. President, and safe travels. And I wish you.
Thank
wish
you. We're
you-
going to be Melania will be coming along in a cardboard box very soon with me on the campaign trail.
I wish you I don't wish you good luck, to be honest, but I wish you.
Uh,
I wish you.
excuse
I
me.
wish you. I wish you,
Excuse me.
Mr. President.
Look, you're not very nice. You need to be nicer to Trump. Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me. All right.
Okay.
Good night,
All
Matt.
right.
Good night.
All right. Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
go home to mommy.
Good night. Oh my God. Oh, got the best callers. Where other show gets you a call with former President Trump or RFK Jr. on other nights? Well, all right, let's take another call. Another call coming in. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. What other show? What other show
Yo,
gets you?
what's going on, man?
Hold on, let me pull you up. Let me pull you up on this feed. Hold on, let me finish what I was saying.
Can you see me?
First, yeah, I can see you. First Trump. Now, like I was saying, what other show has regular calls too from former Howard Stern Whack Pack member Hansi? I mean, this is only on this show will you see this type of content, folks. This is quality entertainment.
Fuck you.
That was pretty great. That was good. Well timed. So what's up, Hansi? But for people who aren't familiar with you, that's not a lie. That's you were a regular on the Howard Stern show for a short period of time. You'd be proud of that.
I mean, not short. I was on it for 10 years, bro. But you're right, man. I had my 15 minutes, and now I'm like basically chasing relevance and shit. I have like 14 followers on Blue Sky.
No, your best days are ahead of you with this this budding stand-up comedy career you're starting to get involved with. How's that going? How are things going at the mic?
Everyone. Okay, I go to this place called Comedy Bar. And everyone and it's just like it's like there's a lot of places downtown, right? I don't have all the money in the world to go take rides downtown, so I try to do open mic once a week, right? And it's the same show that it's like because I built a rapport with these guys. Like ever since I started coming, all of a sudden crackheads started showing up, and one person lit crack on stage at this show. And what they call, they had to kick this guy out. One guy tried to rush the stage, so it feels like first of all, pissed off because I don't have the uniqueness of being the only Muslim doing this now. But now like my whack pack status is like being questioned because now like a bunch of other whack packers are showing up to these places.
What, really?
And like I'm becoming. And no. What I mean is like other crazier characters are coming up, and I feel like I'm like one of the more normal people there. So like when I'm more normal with people, I don't stand out as much, and I'm like, oh my god, what should I fucking do? So I feel like I don't have my wackiness to me anymore. You know what I mean?
I think you're wacky.
Well, I mean on here because in the political world. Like the wackiest shit is being promoted, bro. What they call like It's hilarious. It's hilarious because people use the whack. Like, I'm not saying you do, but other people use the whack pack term as like, oh look, you're like lesser than and all that, right? And because like of how you whacked out you are. But literally every celebrity that I've like looked up to has now become like a whack packer. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're all play like Dave Chappelle. Like, he knows that he's not a comedian anymore. He has to be like a cultural warrior. He exists for the discourse. Like, once you make it into like an established position, it's like you're not no longer known for your art. You're known to be a discourse character, like a villain. So Chappelle will constantly be doing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But like everyone seems to be a backpacker nowadays, in politics at least.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a great point, actually. I think you're onto something here. Everyone wants to be a whack packer nowadays for the attention, for the clicks, for the grift. Yeah.
By the way, I enjoyed your exposition on the whole Elon Musk and MrBeast thing, whatever. I don't know what to call, like, I just see that more people that do stuff on Twitter for Elon Musk. I feel like they're under. I feel like somebody's giving MrBeast some payout behind the fucking scenes. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think like the video itself it generated that kind of revenue, but I feel like it's designed to like indicate that more people are selling out to like Elon Musk, like they're joining the NWO basically. Well, like Elon Musk is the one that's playing the guitar, the air guitar, whatever, with a title, and like, you know what I mean? Like, MrBeast will end up being Scott Norton, where like you don't even notice him after a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go, okay, this guy has potential to be his own superstar, but he's gonna end up being like, he's gonna end up being like like Vincent or Stevie Ray, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, yeah, yeah.
By the way, have you been watching any of the Punk promos that he's had with Seth, Drew, or Cody?
Um, no, I don't think I have. Oh, wait! I did see the CM Punk. No, I did see the. I did see one. I did see the CM Punk Cody
And
promo.
Seth,
It was all right. I didn't see the
Cody
Seth
promo?
one. I didn't see this. I saw the one where the Cody and CM Punk are face to face.
Okay, see this. Okay, I personally think the CM Punk and Seth one was probably more venomous, but I did like toward the end of the promo, like CM Punk saying he's more of an American Dream than Cody is, and then Cody saying that he's more of CM Punk than CM Punk is. I thought like that was brilliant. But you know, before I get into politics, right? Do you think Okada is gonna go to WWE?
I think like that's the obvious, right?
It is. I want him to debut at WrestleMania, and I want him to dethrone Gunther from the IC title. I think
Maybe. I
you
mean, I
need
think
someone more. You need someone prestigious to dethrone Gunther, so you keep the momentum of that title feeling important.
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
how many people? How many people outside of in the WWE hardcore fan base know who Gunther is? You know, that's the issue. Um,
You mean Okada? You mean?
Okada. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
But the thing is, you really think at this point that like even if people don't know him, but like they'll give him the AJ Styles treatment. Like they'll like hype him up. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna be just a random guy. Like, you know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
like
they'll hype him.
that's cool, man. I don't want to waste too much time with wrestling. My question is okay, again, what's it called? I'm noticing more people who like say they're on the left, right? Like, I understand if people don't want to vote for Biden, but again, I'm Canadian, so I don't have like a dog in the race. But I see my country going down the right wing fucking path as well, whatever. But what the call? Like, I understand people have every right to criticize Joe Biden and how he's handled shit and all that. Like, I'm not
Yes.
fucking gonna like say, oh, you better vote for Democrat. But I hate this notion that I'm seeing more people on the left going, well, maybe Trump will move Biden to the left, or maybe Trump will be left on Israel. It's like he's not gonna be
Mm.
left on Israel. Everyone knows he's not gonna be the fucking something moved for Trump in Israel. Like, you know what I mean? Like like I don't buy into him and Netanyahu feuding. So I'm scared that people are now transforming this notion that Trump is going to be better on Israel and Palestine than Biden has been. In my personal opinion, I don't think it will. And that's not saying that you shouldn't hold Biden accountable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna be like a one of those typical Democrats that tell you better vote for Biden or you're gonna fearmonger about Trump because people don't have to vote for whoever don't have to vote for those people, especially if the results are not fucking showing on the surface at least. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like people are being short sighted with the Trump shit by constantly dumbing this guy down. That's why I hate the whole notion of Trump being this dumbed down, inept fucking billionaire. I personally just believe these guys are really, really fucking evil. And you know what I'm saying? Are you noticing that more and more now? Or I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I people obviously are very distraught and upset and angry, rightfully so. I am too, with what's going on in Gaza, and this country is. I think backing of it doesn't do it justice. It is happening because of us. Israel could not bombard
Exactly.
Gaza and do what they are currently doing to the thousands, tens of thousands of innocent civilians that have already been killed, and the millions who are still there without the U.S.'s full support. And it's disgusting, it's gross, and it's got to stop. But like you said, Trump will not be better on Israel Palestine than Biden. At his worst, at his best, excuse me, at his best, he'll be right where Biden is. And honestly, I do think, and this is really, this should be really sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? This should really be a blemish on Joe Biden and his administration
Definitely.
and his legacy. But I could imagine Trump and Biden being no different on what currently is going on the active bombings and invasion of Gaza by Israel, the Israeli government, the IDF. And that's sad. There is no difference. There's no voting for a better person here. However, I do think Trump will be a lot more open, and open might be an understatement too, in allowing Israel to do whatever they want afterwards. Again, it's hard for me to judge the two administrations, the Biden administration and the hypothetical Trump administration on this, because I do really think there will be very little daylight between the two of them. But I do think in what happens to Gaza post what Israel is currently doing, I do think you'll see a little bit more of a difference between the two. You would see a little bit more of a difference between the two administrations. I also think that if you're trying to figure out who to vote for between Trump and Biden, you should probably look at any issue but Israel-Palestine. That's where the differences are. That's where the differences are. That's where the major differences are, I should say.
Yeah, but see, you're right on that. The thing is, like the reason why this one is being more like I feel like in no time in history. Like, I'm not saying it's not me saying that what's going on isn't like genuine. Obviously, like there's genuine people that are being like fucked over, right? But I feel in this era that I've never seen, I feel like people who are I'm talking about the pro-Israel type. They know what they're doing by dehumanizing and constantly playing like like gaslighting games and doing insult to injury, which to like regular people, if you see that, it adds even more fucking trauma to them. Because not only are you committing the fucking genocide, not only are you doing that, now we have to fucking hear like stupid gaslighting things like, oh, did you know that one of the baby's cribs had Mein Kampf in it, and the baby was reading Mein
All
Kampf
right.
before, like stupid shit like that. And the thing is, like, they know that it's a lie. They know that it's gonna outrage people. So in the midst of all this, it's like a bunch of these online accounts are also engagement farming on top of doing the genocide. And the thing is, the fucked up thing is, bro, like, I don't agree with fundamentalism. I hate fundamentalism. Like, I hate it with the core. I hate that this whole like, oh, I'm God's chosen and all that. Even though there's people who are powerful that believe that shit. Like, I feel like they know where it's going, and all, like, even though it's important to know like the numbers and the stats and the names and the people that are getting blown up. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you gotta humanize them as much as possible. It feels like it's all filler because the eventual goal is for like the king, whoever they decide to be the king, to be anointed on the golden temple. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like they're gonna just keep doing it. They'll be like, oh, will there be a ceasefire? Will there be a two-state solution? And it feels like it's all filler. And that's the worst part, because we think that like there's some humanity left where we can stop this, but I don't think there is any humanity left. I think these people are already hell bent on what they're planning, and I feel like that's being done while anti-Semitic people are going to lure people who are like disenfranchised to join like a very like that's why I got to be careful of even like any type of pro-Palestinian message at this era, because there's so many people that are injecting themselves into the space that I do not trust, that will co-sign other horrible shit. Like, if you're completely like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go, well, the Houthis have the right to like strike back if they're being struck on. I understand that. But if you're like completely whitewashing Houthis, then it's like I also don't trust your narrative. Even though I am for the common goal that there should be a ceasefire, there should be no fucking oppression going on. I just feel like I'm being gaslit on top of the genocide that's fucking taking place, and I feel there's gonna be worse shit happening to regular Jewish people who are not like aligned with any Zionist type of fucking mindset. You know what I mean? That's who I'm worried. I'm worried about the civilians that are going to be affected by this the most. If that makes fucking sense.
Right. I think you brought up a few different things here, but yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I would say. I mean, I don't really care to have the Houthi discussion because I think it's sort of counterproductive. Because I don't really care if someone. I mean, it makes no difference in the big picture here, because the focus needs to be 100% on what's going on to the innocent men, women, and children in Gaza, the Palestinians. And also in the West Bank too. Obviously, they're not. They're faring pretty bad right now too. I mean, anyone who blames the Jewish people as a whole is obviously operating in bad faith, because the issue is with the Israeli government. The issue is with the Israeli settlers who are attacking and killing people in the West Bank. I mean, that is the issue. Could certainly point out that they're using, they're flying, the Jewish symbols and weaponizing their religion, but that again is Israel's actions. And again, some of the most pro-Palestine voices, probably the most pro-Palestinian voices aside from Palestinians themselves, are young Jewish anti-Zionists.
Yeah,
They are
exactly, dude.
Yeah.
It makes me happy because I find in the 2010, I feel like people are still stuck in the 2010s mentality, where like for the most of our lives, right? Like, for example, when the Iraq War happened, and it was determined that it was like a lie about like how to get into the war. Like, I was so like, because of just realizing that a bunch of Muslims got fucking killed for an illegal fucking war, it made me fucking so pissed off that I had this vengeance against like powerful people in the US who helped organize that, from even like people who are like, like guys like even like Howard Stern, who I felt like was already reactionary on 9/11 by telling everyone to wipe off the Middle East and all that kind of shit. Like I always felt like resentment, and that's why I started going into more of the alt media. And I felt like the alt media's narrative and like not all of them, some like back in the 2010s, is that if the U.S. is saying that someone's bad, automatically now I gotta like a co-sign Assad, I gotta co-sign Putin, I gotta co-sign Kim Jong Un, and I hate that mentality has seeped in, that we're that generalizing. You know what I mean? Because again I can point out the U.S. empire. That's why I don't like criticizing other countries with like Western apologists, because they want to hear criticism of other countries for the purpose of, oh, the great USA type of deal. Like you could never have like an open discussion about what all the fundamentalists in all these countries are doing and what they're adding to it. And I just feel like that's like a 2010s mentality, where I believe that we should be more evolved past that. You know what I mean? So people are using like for example, like okay, fine, for Palestine, but does that mean I have to fucking suck Putin's dick while I'm at it? Like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't get that. So that's one thing that I've opened my mind from since 2010s. But in that mindset, I was always like, oh, Assad is a good person, or Putin, he didn't do as much evil as the U.S. So that must mean that he's 100%. You know what I mean? So I find myself trying to get out of that 2010s mentality, because I was stung from the Iraq War and all the fucking normalized hatred towards Muslims that happened. And I feel like it was by design for them to push people like that into more of extreme behaviors, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I always feel
yeah.
like when I go off a tangent, you got nothing else to say, but you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, I don't know.
No, because sometimes I think you make a point that I don't really have any rebuttal to. I mean, I think you're making sense. Obviously, it's really bizarre to see like how far we still are from anything really happening in terms of like maybe a couple months ago when you saw new Congress people jumping on board or whatever, it was like, oh, the movement towards a ceasefire is really ramping up, because it went from like 5 people to 10 people, and then from 10 to 15, and etc. But it's like how many? 20 something, I think, and 25,000 people Palestinians are dead over what? October, November, December, over 4 months. I mean, what's gonna happen here?
That's why I try to keep I try to go to you and the serfs, and like maybe a couple of other people that talk about it, because if I go on and look at what's trending, it's dominated by Elon Musk fanboys and like Jackson Hinkle and like like Andrew Tate and all these bad faith actors that are talking about it, right? So I try to at least go to your guys, that's why I feel more comfortable posting on Blue Sky for 14 followers, rather than interact on Twitter now, because it's become a complete cesspool basically. But before I go, Matt, I know you're familiar. Are you familiar with Post Wrestling, right? You know John Pollock.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Did you hear him get he asked a fair question to Dana White, and Dana White fucking played the freedom of speech card, but he broke Elon Musk. Elon Musk responded to the video. It's just crazy, because I talked to Pollock and Wei Ting weekly on their Patreon, right? So I've been a fan for a long time of theirs. So it's surreal to see Elon Musk chime in on it, because they're talking about Sean Strickland and what kind of leash Dana White gives to his fighters to be able to do that, right? And then he got offended by the word leash, and he goes, freedom of speech, brother. Even though he banned Palestinian free speech, on his YouTube channel. He banned flags and all that. You look at his past. He said that, oh, you can't, dude, freedom. You can't just make fun of trans people. That's like freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. So, are you noticing more and more that like it's becoming obvious that some of these like UFC and WWE are more aligned with the GOP, and they're like kind of instilling their talking points? Because the thing is, I don't want to listen. The thing about Sean Strickland, I hate what he's doing. I hate what he's become. But it also is part of a important storyline, because if you look at his research, he was apparently assaulted, molested by his father, right? And I feel like once you're a cog who's been abused, and then you align with like people who are very far right wing and fundamentalist, they kind of lure you into being anti-gay. Like that's why when people go off an Ultimate Warrior for being, and again, I'm not defending what he said and all that, but to me, it reeks of somebody who has had abuse. And instead of like getting help and being able to open up about like men getting sexually abused, I feel like, especially back then, you feel like you gotta repress it, and then they become way more angrier, and they start hating the entire fucking community, even though like you may have had a bad interaction with maybe like for example, I always feel like there's a lot of closeted conservatives who so whenever like the right wing goes, oh, did you know that gay people like to fuck horses as well? I'm probably I start thinking maybe it's the gay people that you guys hang around with that also fuck horses, not because they're gay, but maybe because they're all fucking creeps. You know what I mean? So when you use that, so that's why that's a bigger question, because part of me feels bad for Sean Strickland, but the other part of me is like, well, you're so far gone now that you're already fucking spewing anti fucking trans rhetoric and spewing bigotry and acting like no one mentioned, you know, all of a sudden Sean Strickland goes, oh, you must have voted for Trudeau. You must like chicks with dicks. It's like, dude, the guy has asked you a fucking question about the comments you're putting out, bro. So I just want to get your thoughts on that before I go, bro. Sorry, again, I put so much
a
on your
lot there.
lap,
No,
man.
I mean, I don't know about the specifics of what you said with horses and everything, but I will say that a lot of what they put out there is obviously projection. I mean, it's you know, it's a combination of projection, a combination of fear. I mean, a lot of these guys don't have are older people who have zero interaction with their children. Their children want nothing to do with them. Or they're young incels who have no lives outside of the internet and posting on there because no one wants to be with them because they have horrible personalities. I mean, it's just, you know, when the world's not going your way, you get irrationally angry at everybody to explain why the world's not going in your way, because you're not willing to look within and figure out that I'm the problem, not everybody else.
I get you. I get you. I thought because like the politics is seeping in, so I got a feeling like, during this year there's probably gonna be a lot. Like, I feel like in the next year or so there's gonna probably be a lot of intersection between politics and pro wrestling, because like you have like Donald Trump like giving praise to Kane during one of his speeches, bro. Like it's so surreal that the president of the United States, is talking about Undertaker and Kane during one of his fucking rallies. You know what I mean? So it feels like I feel like a lot of these like Elon Musk or Donald Trump, all these problematic figures, I really do think they're going to appear in WWE in 2024. I definitely think Elon Musk will definitely appear at like a WrestleMania or something.
Maybe Musk, yes.
You don't think you don't think Donald Trump during election year? Like you
No,
like, you know what I mean?
I think WWE wants to stay away from this sort of stuff. They haven't had any sort of. I mean, I know they posed with him. The family posed with him when he got inaugurated, but that's the last time they had any interaction with him.
But dude, a lot of the NXT superstars, a lot of them are into QAnon adjacent fucking shit.
No,
like,
way more of these guys are progressive than those guys.
So are you telling me for sure that there's actually progressive people in the wrestling world?
Oh, of course, Finn Balor. Rhea Ripley. I would say,
Okay.
I would say a lot of those guys, a lot of these upcoming stars, a lot of the big Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I'm not saying they're like socialists or DSA members, or that they'd even maybe even consider themselves to be progressive necessarily. I mean, Sami Zayn certainly does, but these guys are like fairly progressive on at least social issues. I mean, I don't know what their politics are economically, but when it comes to like, celebrities, do we ever really know for the most part, unless they
Exactly.
outwardly. But also, I would have to say that like you're less likely to, probably be a super conservative on economics if you're like pro LGBTQ.
No, I get you,
Although
man.
it is possible, obviously,
No, that's cool, man. But by the way, Matt, thanks for taking my call, man, and thanks for chiming in. By the way, people are asking in the chat what my background is.
CM Punk,
It's
of course. CM Punk. What a better example of a progressive. I mean, I know personally, I hear that he's sort of a douchebag, but on politics, dude's right is progressive as hell. And he's still my favorite. I will always love CM Punk. He's still my favorite.
Well, fuck you, man. No, I'm joking. No, I'm just playing around. No, but Matt, thanks for taking my call, man. And listen, people are asking what my background is in this picture. It's the Bada Bing from The Sopranos. You know what I mean? So like, it's a 2050. By the way, Matt, when you do start watching, I know eventually when you get to it, just when you watch Sopranos, bro, watch it under the guise of it being a comedy, and don't root for anybody, because you'll think it's the funniest show on the planet. I still think it's one of the funniest shows, but if you because you grew up in the same era I grew up in, what I like about this show, it encapsulates what like being a teenager, like you're a Tony Soprano's kids, what the conversation was during the internet age, and how like our past parents who live by old school rules use religion kind of in a way, but it's all for aesthetic, even though they're like mafia members and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's so much more than just being a mafia thing. It's about like questioning your fate, your religion, your like all that kind of stuff. And the therapy, like the reason why I went back to it is because the therapy sessions were really, really, really good. I didn't actually like I didn't appreciate it back then because I just wanted to see mafia shit. Like I just wanted to see Tony Soprano like knock some fucking guy's head off. But it's a lot more like mental. It ages so much better, bro, than I realized. So if you do watch it, man, enjoy the ride, man.
All right, I will.
Take it easy, brother.
Take care. Always a pleasure, Hansi. All right, folks. We'll take one, maybe two more calls, and then I think that's the. Oh wait, we're about to hit the 2 hour mark. Yeah, but let's not do the marathon shows where we're all tired at the end. Let's do nice, quick, not quick either, but nice, hearty length shows. I'll take a few more calls though. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, Matt. It's Anne from the UK.
Hey, Anne from the UK. How are you doing? What would you like to talk about?
I was just mainly calling in to say that I've sent you some random examples of little name tag assets you asked for.
Wait, you sent me something?
Yeah, I sent you some a while ago.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you looked
Skype?
at them. Yes, on Skype.
I've not
One
seen
of them
it
might
yet.
make
I'm
you
sorry.
giggle, to be
Oh.
fair.
All right, so let's take a look because I want to laugh. Let's see. Do. I'm not seeing the funny one. Let's see. Budget Sam Cedar, very funny. Very funny. Very clever. All right, yeah, make me laugh. Okay, yeah. Very funny. Very funny.
But yeah, are those like vaguely what you're kind of after or not?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Fair enough.
Thank you so much.
Other
I
than
gotta scroll through the Skype chat and literally like download everything all over again because I need to like put it nicely in folders and everything so I could find them when I need them. Because I downloaded like obviously a few over the past couple of months as you sent them to pull them up on the screen, and I've lost track of what I've actually downloaded and haven't downloaded. So I just gotta go through it and just grab them all up again.
No, it's fair. Other than that, I can talk about random UK stuff, should you so wish. I don't know how good my audio is because I don't have my headset anymore. It broke, so I'm just using my laptop microphone. But like main weird focus of the UK recently has been an extremely old post office scandal that got a TV documentary series made off of it. And like the government finally, after like 20 years or something, actually doing stuff about that because a TV drama was made about it, which is kind of depressing that it took this long. But something mildly funny today is seeing the army trying to claim that of all countries in the world, the UK needs a big land force, like land army, to defend itself. Desperately needs recruits of that. Like, we aren't an island in the middle of the ocean that would probably be better served with like anti-aircraft or anti-sea stuff rather than having a big land force. And besides that, there was a cute news story about someone having a mouse tidy up their shed in part of England, which nice light-hearted news story considering all of the much
They
more
had a
horrific
what? Say that
stuff.
again?
Somebody had a small mouse tidying up their shed during the middle of the night.
What do you mean tidying up their shed?
They would apparently this small mouse would just like pick up things and put them into this little tray. I can send you the video of it. Technically the link is BBC, but the clip is not BBC origins, so I don't
I'm
know.
I'm not gonna play it on the stream because I don't want to deal with
that's
those.
fair. But it's a very cute, sweet story considering how dark recent news stories have been.
It's a nice story, yeah, compared to everything else. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thrown off by you saying mouse tidying things up, because usually you don't think of when you think of a mouse, you don't think of them tidying things up. They're not usually doing that.
There were obviously people drawing comparisons to like Ratatouille as like a weird joke. Someone in chat is doing a Monty Python reference with the two sheds. Or I assume so, Uncle Slater. But
Two sheds.
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was particularly notable. Keir Starmer's still changing his opinion on everything.
Yeah, every time I read more about what his latest opinion is on literally anything, it just gets worse and worse. He's really bad. He's got no shame, no spine. He's horrible.
Literally backtracks on everything. Like, apparently before, unfortunately to bring it back to this topic, before the like US UK bombing of Houthi soldiers, apparently he was saying that we would like need to have more like actual going through parliament stuff for military action like that. And then after it happened, he was like, oh no, only like
not like that, not like that.
Yeah,
not like that. Yeah, unbelievable.
And it's just that kind of level of literally backtracking on any and every point possible. And it's kind of just I hate the fact that he is likely to become the next prime minister, though it's preferable to the Tories by the tiniest percent. because he does seem to basically just be the Tory wing of Labour, and it's very hard to differentiate some of his policies from Tory policies. Even like Rwanda stuff, I don't think he said he was going to fully back off of that, which is kind of depressing. But that was also, yeah, that's been deemed illegal like so many times now, and they still keep going forwards with it. And every time we keep threatening to pull out of the like European Court of Human Rights stuff consistently. It's just really bad. The UK is a horrible country for
Well,
stuff like that.
we're not doing so great over here on that either. So don't worry,
No.
you're in good company. We're in good company, I guess.
At US, UK, I do feel like
It's that
the
special
US, like,
relationship they say we have. A real
Yes.
special relationship. Yes.
there's a lot of cribbing each other's notes for the like horrible things our countries can do together, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much everything. Hopefully, I did send some other random messages and stuff. Feel free to read them if you want to.
Well, you heard it. You heard it here, folks. That's everything that just happened in the UK.
Yes.
Everything
Totally
in the UK
nothing of
in
any
8
of
minutes. Nothing else has happened. We could just. This is what the BBC has been talking about nonstop.
Genuinely, the post office thing has been like the main focus of UK news
what
for like
post office
2-3 weeks.
thing?
Literally, there is an issue in the UK that years ago there was a faulty IT system, and some postmasters for the post office got convicted of financial fraud for like errors
What?
the system was making.
What?
It's a really big scandal in the UK that's apparently only just starting to get like some actual.
So wait.
results.
There were. What, say this again. There are people stealing stuff, or what? What?
The people were not stealing stuff. The system had some apparently, allegedly, known security or like computer, like software programming issues, and the company that produced it for the post office basically didn't disclose that, and there's been a lot of reveals around like who did and didn't know, and the fact that we apparently gave someone an honor even after it was revealed that this issue existed, and that she had basically not investigated it, but she was like in charge of the post office in some way, and we gave her some honor that she returned because of that, because there's been so much of a backlash. Also, the head of the Lib Dems in the UK was apparently working in the legal system and didn't, or something like that, and ignored the whistleblower who was trying to get like compensation for a lot of the victims of this case, because there have been people who have actively committed suicide as a result of the like smear on their reputation. It was a really big story. The only reason it's become such a big thing is because ITV made a documentary drama series about it, which had a couple of famous actors and stuff in. And it's become a really, really big story and focus of the news for like several weeks now. Probably mildly useful as a distraction from other bad decisions the UK is making, or questionable decisions the UK is making. But yeah, that has literally been the main story of the UK for literal weeks.
Wow. I mean, we really are. We really are buddies. We really do have that special relationship. Scandals and financial fraud and theft from the public coffers. We really are one of a kind together.
Mm.
Two of a kind, I should say.
Mm.
Well, Anne, it's always a pleasure for you to call in and give us updates from across the pond and let us know how fucked the rest of the world is because of how fucked the U.S. and the U.K. are.
We're sinking a little faster than the US at the moment. It's fine.
Well, don't worry. We always catch up. We're number one.
Mm.
We always do. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Mm. Anyway,
I
have a
gotta
nice
say,
night, Linda.
I will say before you go, I'm truly impressed. A news summary update from the UK that does not involve something horrible about trans people or happening to trans people
I don't
is
think there's
is
been
amazing.
any.
It's
I
amazing.
don't think there's been any big stories. I have heard rumors that allegedly they might be making it slightly harder for trans people to change gender on their passports. But I've only heard
slightly
rumors of
harder.
that.
What
I
is it?
haven't heard like
What is slightly harder? Oh, you need to.
you used to be able to get a letter from your doctor, and apparently they might be making it harder than that.
Jeez. All right. Well, that'll really deter people from becoming from being trans, right? Oh, you mean it'll take me a little bit more to change it on my birth certificate or whatever? Oh, forget it. I'm cis. It's too much. It's not gonna happen. Like, what do they think is happening here? Unbelievable. But man, thanks for the call. Thanks for staying up too. Jeez, it's 6 a.m. over there.
4:20.
What time is it?
It's literally 4:20.
Oh, 4:20. Oh, all right, Elon Musk. Go enjoy.
Right.
Have a good night. All right. Let's do this. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? And I just picked up your call and you hung up. Oh. All right, let's Oh, we got calls coming in again. Here we go. Hey, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Forrest from California.
Hey, Forrest from California. How are you? What's up? What would you like to talk about?
I'm good. So I wanted to voice this personal theory that I developed the other day.
What is this? What is
So
it?
my theory is that not only will AI never get like meaningfully better, it can't get meaningfully better.
Let's hear this. I'm interested. You've got me right where you want
So-
me. You brought up AI and I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
Right. So I read this article on Facebook the other day. I don't know. I can't verify that 100% of what the article said is true, obviously, but they claimed that 50% of the internet is already AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, if you're thinking of
50%
like,
of the content on it.
if you're talking about like all the blogspot blogs and all those low level stuff that just regurgitate, then yeah. But I mean, the vast majority of people don't go there. Like they're like the
But that's not
shitified
really
web. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not really where I'm going with that.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
So, first of all, it's well known that if you feed AI generated content into an AI, it gets really scrambled and essentially goes crazy. Like the quality just goes down dramatically the more you feed AI content into an AI.
Right.
So my theory is that because AI is so dependent on just mass scraping of the internet for just whatever they can get their hands on, it's going to become increasingly hard to improve the quality of the AI because this content scraped is going to be increasingly AI generated and it becomes a feedback loop.
Right. Yes.
And it's almost physically impossible to run a business on the scale that they're on while like manually curating that level of data.
No, you have a great point. I think you were already seeing it. It's already happening, and
Mhm.
you're seeing it with not just written AI content, but also visual AI content like photos and whatever low-level video stuff is out there. To me, even more worrisome than what AI can actually do right now, which is not very much outside of the written content.
Mhm.
We're talking about generative AI, of course, right now, not other AI. Um, is that people seem to think AI can do a lot more than it actually can. Like they see some really shit like this Power World game that came out, and that's a whole nother. I don't want to go too deep into that. That's a whole. We could do 4 hours on that alone.
Yeah.
It's clear that Power World is this basically. It looks like a Pokemon ripoff,
I
but
played it.
it's like a survival game that came out. It's an independent game. It's the top selling game on Steam. Something like 3 million sales or something. The developers are rolling in dough. If you look at the game, from talking to people who played the game, it's not very good. But obviously, streamers streamed it, and so everyone wants to play it, and they're all trying to convince themselves it's great. Um,
I have mixed feelings. I've played it. It's not bad. It's just not very original, and it's still in early access, so they don't have a lot of content yet.
yeah, but all these Steam games are early access. Nothing comes of them. They never roll out
Yeah.
the complete game. It's all just money grabs, and they move on to the next game. It's all just this is how it works. And
Yeah.
what was I saying? All right. So if you look at the models of the monsters in this game, it's very clear that they like ripped off Pokemon. And I don't mean ripped off Pokemon like, oh, you want to create a game where you catch animals or animal-like creatures. Obviously, you're inspired by Pokemon. No, this
Yeah.
isn't inspired by. Like, people have actually taken the Pokemon character models and laid them straight over the Power World character models, and it's crystal clear they just straight up lifted the 3D models.
Yeah.
Like, this is plagiarism. It's not inspiration. It's not based on. It's plagiarism.
I definitely agree with.
Yeah, and people are like, the word was this was an AI created game.
Mhm.
And the reason people thought that is because the publisher, the developer of the game, is very pro AI, has publicly posted about it a lot, and apparently he has previously made a much lower level AI based game.
Mhm.
But like AI cannot create those 3D models. AI is nowhere near that, being able to do something like that. Yes, I've seen AI do some marginally impressive sort of video stuff and 3D art. But in terms of creating 3D game models, I mean, the video stuff is barely even there. The video stuff, they could barely keep the character looking the same frame by frame. You'll notice some deviations throughout, and all of a sudden they transform into a completely different looking person, and it's supposed to be the same character. So
Yeah, I've actually played around with that a little bit. The GIF generator thing is absolutely terrible. Like you're like watching a stop motion, but they keep switching out different models. So it ends up looking really bad for the most part.
Right. So I mean, I think it's bad that people have bought into what the AI hawkers were selling, and that is AI can do these great things, and it's gonna take everyone's job, and everyone better watch out because look what it can do.
Yeah.
Because people believe it now, and that means companies will believe it, and companies will hire and fire based on what they think AI can do, and AI will end up doing. AI will end up living up to those fears of taking people's jobs and stuff, but not based on what AI can actually do, based on the hype surrounding it. Yeah. And I mean, don't give AI too much credit. Don't give Power World the credit for, I see people go, but they made a good game or whatever. I don't care if they made the greatest game ever made. If you plagiarized, if you should have stole art from artists, from creators, You're scum.
Mhm.
I think it's the worst possible thing you could do. And there's a huge difference. And someone who has put out music, who has put out videos, and I don't mean like YouTube videos. I mean fictional, creative, narrative, short films and stuff. I don't care about people who consume my stuff, who want to listen to my music, who want to watch my content. I don't care about them stealing or taking to watch and to enjoy. That's what it's meant to do. I'd like people to pay for it, but number one, I want them to enjoy my art. I want them to enjoy my creation.
Yeah.
I don't mind people stealing to do that. I do mind that I find it to be the ultimate slap in the face, and it is to steal my work and to say it is yours, or to steal my work and then make money off of my creation. That is not cool. And I think people who do that are the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And I saw people go like, oh, you're defending the big company, defending Nintendo or whatever. I don't give a shit about Nintendo or whatever. There are human beings, artists who created those Pokemon designs. I don't care who owns it. Those creators were paid by Nintendo to create those works. They got compensated for their creation, for their creativity, for their work. These people did not compensate those artists. They're not respecting those artists by stealing their work. They're scumbags for stealing from those artists.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think it's really shitty that they did that. I am a bit dubious about whether Pal World will. So the thing with Pal World is, I think it's gotten so big that they probably will keep developing it, just because it's gained so much momentum. But I think if it ever loses momentum, they'll definitely drop it.
All Nintendo has to do is come at them. Nintendo is certainly, I'm sure, looking.
They've been trying. They've been going hard after them, but didn't succeed in court.
They already went after Pal World?
A little bit. I mean, they've definitely done copyright infringement stuff.
Didn't the game just come out?
Yeah, but there were a lot of previews and hide them a couple times already. I mean, it's a little hard in some cases, just because, you can't. Yes, they did steal the models, so that's obviously fucked up. But I don't know that Nintendo has been specific enough in what they're suing over, because I think they've been doing a lot of lawsuits of well, you stole our idea for the concept of the game, and that's fucked up, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see them defend the character designs. I mean, I think there's a lot more, but that's just opinion.
No, I would too.
I think there's a lot more taken from it, but that's just opinion. I don't have any definitive proof, but those character model designs are, I mean, that doesn't accidentally happen. We're not talking about these characters have somewhat, there are complete assets. The Meowth one is especially damning. It's fucking Meowth's face. It's Meowth's face. It's his exact face. They just stole this iconic Pokemon character's face and just threw it on another character.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Obviously, they should definitely be sued and lose in court for that. I feel like we've gotten off of the AI topic.
Oh, right. Because Pal World, everyone's talking about Pal World right now. That's why.
Yeah, for sure.
Nintendo did get I'm just reading right now, Nintendo did get a Pal World mod taken down. There was a mod made for the game that literally just turned them into actual Pokemon characters. And so Nintendo got that taken down.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure Nintendo is looking into what they can do. I'm sure they have lawyers looking into it. They can't be happy about. I mean, the game is literally all I see over and over again is that people calling it like a Pokemon with guns or something like that. That's how I've seen that's what I've seen the game called, Pokemon with guns. I mean, when you're literally what's that?
The irony is that there weren't even that many guns in the game. Not that many Pokemon have guns, and you can get a gun for you. No. The Pokemon are guns. I was playing it a little bit, and You can unlock the ability to turn like a Flareon ripoff into a flamethrower, and you're just like holding the fox and shooting flame out of it, like it's a gun. I mean, if they didn't do the artistic ripoff, I think there would be genuine value in Pal World.
I mean, I don't know why they couldn't just come up with their own shit, but yeah.
I'm right there with you. I'm sure they're just really cheap and didn't want to spend money on actual originality. But I do think there's like good bones, like a good game structure underlying it. I just think obviously the artistic ripoff part is bad.
Yeah.
And not to be too hard in defense of Pal World now that you've been like, yeah, we're talking about AI, but what's really fucked up? Pal World.
Yeah, no, I mean, AI has its own issues. We've talked about AI a lot. Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. That's all.
No, but I mean, because everyone was saying AI when that's the first time I saw Power World. People were saying AI did it or whatever. And I had to look into it, and I was like, yeah, I don't think AI could do this.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that needed AI to do anyway. It's not that hard to plagiarize. Like, that's kind of the whole point of plagiarism.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah. All right. Forrest, what a great call. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for taking the call.
You sent me on a tangent, and now I'm it's actually, like, to me, the really disturbing thing is the number of people who don't think it's a big deal that you could just steal, and it's not it's like, I think plagiarism is one of the worst things you can do. I think
agree.
You're an absolute scumbag. I think if you plagiarize, I think it's and I think people who don't get it have literally never built anything creative or never made anything creative. They are because
I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm a published author, and I've seen my books on like those free book sites where they rip things off of Amazon and then post it in like a text format.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all right. Have a great night. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too.
All right, let's go. I'll take one more call if it's coming in. Oh boy, I got a bunch of calls coming in now. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey Matt, it's Tony from Texas.
Hello, Tony. How are you?
Doing well. I'll keep it short because I know it's getting late on the stream, and I can't take long away from work. But first off, patreon.com/MattBender.
Ooh.
Let's
You really-
let's bring it in. And then I have to push back at you, besmirching the entire concept of early access games on Steam, because some of the absolute best whole complete games in my Steam library I got started on as early access games.
Okay, so some good games come out of it. How many games have you purchased that were just get rich quick schemes and never went anywhere?
Not any, because I'm very careful about my research and who I actually like.
Oh, okay. So you do the work to
Yeah,
actually.
like
Okay.
yeah. Like I get that there is an issue with a lot of either scammy or just over ambitious like early access games, and it's not like it isn't a problem, but like I just had to shout out Griftlands by Clay. And it's
Hey,
an amazing game. Y'all go check it out. I don't know if y'all heard of this one. Baldur's Gate 3. That was an early access game on Steam.
All right. I mean, I believe you. I mean, I think, developing a video game's got to be one of the. I don't even know where you'd begin. I think that's probably one of the hardest things I can possibly think of doing. It seems like it takes a lot of work and a very particular set of skills, and you need to be very, very patient, because it seems like something that takes really long. Like, even like You could throw out like you go out there and shoot a Gonzo style run and gun film in like a weekend. Seems like you can't really do the same for a video game. So a good video game, I should say.
I mean, it depends on the scope. Like there are game jams that are like weekend long deals, and they're very simple games. But
oh right,
just because it's a
like
very
casual
simple game,
games. Yeah,
yeah.
casual
Or
games
like
could be
flash
good.
games.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like they can be really excellent, very time consuming, and very entertaining. With a pretty simple premise. The obsession with these like ultra high definition graphics and everything, like that's where you get into like the really bloated, time consuming, like huge. That's when you get into like movie making levels of it's a miracle that this thing actually happened.
Right.
There's just so many people involved in that process.
Right.
A process that I really I'm working very hard every day to be a part of, because I think game making's pretty cool.
I think and if you put up a early access game on Steam, I would buy it because I trust you, because I know who you are.
Well,
so you're right, it does take, but there's I also think there's a difference between people getting overly zealous, and they really do have their heart into it, but they bit off more than they can chew. And then there's
shovelware.
And then there's clearly, which apparently this developer behind Power World is known for doing, just throwing shit out there.
Yeah, doing asset flip stuff.
Yeah, I think that's like not cool.
Yeah,
especially if you're taking money from people. You want to do that to build your skill, or to try to build up, I don't know, an email list, and you throw a free game out there or whatever. A little bit weirder, but not as fucked up, I think, as taking people's money, saying this is the start of something, knowing this is just a money grab, that this is it, and then doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to affirm Forrest's instincts about the inherent limitations of quote AI end quote tools as a VFX artist and aspiring game dev who explores like the potential ethical applications of AI tools. The fact of the matter is, no matter, like, they could be 10,000 times more advanced and powerful than they are now, and there wouldn't be that much more that they could do as far as saving time in a pipeline process and actually coming up with a viable product. Like, they cannot read your mind. The machines can't read your mind. They can't understand you. They're not actually intelligent. They don't have understanding. They just have algorithms that, the further out you get from a certain point or prompt, then the more room there is for that algorithm to err. And it will err, and it will diverge from what you want at some not very far iteration from what you ask. So like the creative partners that I work with, like we utilize a very hand-holdy process. So we take in-house assets that, like, we whip up in Blender or Unreal or what have you, and then we process that and, like, train a model on that in-house art in order to be able to iterate versions of that in-house art in a slightly quicker way. This maybe shaves like 10-20% of the time that would otherwise be used to do this process, and it doesn't replace any artists. You can't really replace the artists, like that, not without just you can't replace the artists. Like the generative tools that claim they're replacing artists aren't replacing artists. They're just ripping off artists. It's just you can't have this stuff without the artists.
Right.
And so, we have this very kind of like this this kind of wafer process where you don't go more than a step with an AI tool, and it's really just kind of a filtering process between other workflows that a human is doing so that they can work a little bit faster and spend a little less time on tedious repetitive tasks and a little more time doing the actually like fun creative parts like composition and arrangement and choosing colors and that whatever it is that artist is more into.
Right.
So yeah, like but it's the worry is, like you said, regardless of what the reality of the limitations of this technology and these tools are, tech bros are gonna hype and overblow like what these things can do, and executives are gonna make decisions based on that overblown hype, not on the realities. And it's like always, it's people who actually do the work, and do the creation, and produce the value that are going to get the raw end of the deal in that.
Yes, absolutely.
And on that lovely note, y'all go sign to Matt's Patreon and newsletter, and become a member on YouTube. And thanks everybody
You're
for
just
being lovely and chat.
knocking out all the promos for me, doing my job. Thank you. I appreciate it, Tony. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye. All right, folks. I just remembered because last week my internet went out when I was talking with Kowalski. So I have a bunch of super chats to read. I promised I'd read those super chats. So let me get to last week's super chats first, and then I'll read this week's super chats, and then I think that's the show. All right, let's do this. I got the super chats up. Parker, this is from last week's super chats first, the CES episode. Parker, did you see the new transparent TV? I did. It was pretty cool looking. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Scam economy now exclusively on X would have a much higher response. Oh, talking about, okay. Wanda, great job on Novara Media. Wish they could come on your show, but the time zone issues won't work for them on our side of the pond. I'll work something out with Novara Media folks if we need to make it happen. Baltazar with a super chat. Wish I could give in away where Google didn't get a cut. Well, patreon.com/MattBinder. Parker with another super chat. AOC or Rashida for 2028? Oh, probably neither. But I'd be fine with either. But probably neither will actually happen. Man Shovel, at least in 2028. Manch and AOC has much broader appeal, I think. Not unfortunately, but unfortunately, but not to AOC's detriment. I think they're both great. Just unfortunately for Rashida, because I think she's swell too. Man Shovel with a super chat. Up the punks, oi oi oi, left is best. Yep. Renee, picture the disappointed ghosts in that house. Renee always it's even worse a week later. Renee always loves his no context super chats. Can you imagine what that was about last week? I have no idea. Pluvius with a super chat. RFK needs to be careful with proofreading. A party called We the People will net a different kind of voter. It'll be kind of a lemon party politically. We the People. Andrelin de Baksha with a super chat. I have items in my Team Fortress 2 backpack that are the only ones in existence. I've been offered as much as 50k cash for my backpack. It's crazy. Why have you not sold them? 50k? Goodbye. Give me that money. What's wrong? I hope you sold them 50k. Wanda with a super chat. David cut of Leftist Mafia in under 2 hours in your absence. Oh, the week before last, right. Renee with another super chat. Keep Polivier and his Apple out of office, Totoro. Renee doing his thing. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Thank you, Hansi, for calling in after me and help clear up the name thing. Oh, that was very funny last week. Some people thought Hanzi was the same person as Tokyo Hans. That's really funny. Foresto with a super chat. It's so frustrating that we have to choose between two of the three most publicly destructive politicians. George W. is the other in my lifetime. Kowalski with a super chat. All Polish dancing is technically pole dancing. Well, thank you, Kowalski. And now we're at this week's super chats. Let's do it. Let's see what we got here. Let me pull these up. Tokyo Hans gifted 5 memberships to me. Thank you so much, Tokyo Hans. John Deere with a super chat. Just here for the vibe. Thank you, John Deere. Charlie DeGinamere with a gifted membership as well. Wanda gifted a membership too. Thank you so much. That's really so nice of you to give people memberships. Masood Raymond with a super chat. What microphone do you use, Matt? Hashtag right as blight. I use the Shure MV7, which is a great mic, except it has this weird flaw. I've spoken with them about it. They know about it. They're looking into doing something about it. The way the USB-C cable, not USB-C, they use a mini USB cable. It's an XLR and USB mic. I use USB because it takes up less space. I obviously will likely get an XLR cable and have to get a mixer to plug it into. But the flaw with the mic is that the way the mini USB is situated, it bends where it plugs into the mic, and it makes it very easy to just unplug if I accidentally hit it while moving. It's a great mic otherwise. It's probably the most professional sounding USB mic I've ever used. And from my understanding, it's up there even as an XLR mic. So, yeah. Mini USB. Why did I say micro USB? I'm sorry. USB mini. Not USB-C. Although it should be USB-C. They probably solve their problems. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. All this lead up, and I almost thought Matt was going to announce his new co-host on Doom with MrBeast. Oh, yeah. Philippi August with a super chat. Dylan Burns got banned. Oh my God. Did he get banned for good or did he get a temporary suspension? What did he do? Tokyo Hans, as Binder Dad mentioned, don't forget to read last week's super chat since the CIA took out the stream last time. I did. I read them. I couldn't not read them. Jay from New Jersey, member for 6 months. What up, Binder? 6 months. Let's go. Hell yeah. Thank you, Jay. Carrie Shaw with a $10 super chat. If you had another tier on Patreon, people could give you more money. I will shortly to roll out with the newsletter. So what I'm going to do is I'm like I said, I'm going to use Substack. I know people have an issue with Substack. I have an issue with Substack. But as a platform that covers the things I cover, I think Substack is a good place to be, at least for the beginning. And then once the newsletter is big enough, I could transition over to another newsletter provider. But as a platform and a newsletter that's just starting, as a newsletter that's just starting and what the Substack platform does, I think it's a good place to be for now. So what I'm going to do is when the newsletter rolls out and the paid tier of the newsletter rolls out, I'm going to offer people a higher level tier on Patreon as well. So if they don't want to pay Substack, they get the newsletter on Patreon. Like the premium newsletter on Patreon. Do you get what I'm saying? So basically, it's going to be $5 for the podcast / stream, as usual. And then $5 or $6 for the newsletter. Altogether, $10 a month for all this content. That's my idea right now. In terms of even higher level tiers, I think that's where merch comes in. I feel like asking for that much is like on the level of like movie and TV show streaming services. Maybe one day I'll feel comfortable asking for that amount. I don't right now, unless people want to go out of their way to like give it to me. Like I don't feel like asking for that amount. I mean, there are people who give me like, you know, over the years I've been doing this, there've been people who gave me 10, 20, 25 a month. But that's because they wanted to. Let's see. Jay Cash with a super chat. When are you getting Jon Stewart on the show? Oh yeah, I'll just email him, my good friend Jon Stewart. Morbius Dragon with a gifted one membership. Thank you, Morbius. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Please ignore my previous super chat. You already did it. Charlie the Jittimer, thank you for gifting a membership as well. This is not a super chat, but it caught my eye. Laredo Lasso. Matt, there's a thumbnail of you on an MR clip from 7 years ago when you called in from the DNC. You're wearing a knitted hat. Where can we see that again? I don't know what happened to that hat. It's somewhere. And now let's go over to Twitch. I got a lot of Twitch from last week too. Let's get those in. Hold on, where is this? Let me read these. Tokyo Hans over on Twitch last week resubscribed for 1 month, a tier 1 subscriber for 18 months. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. Tokyo Hans is such a big supporter of mine. Thank you so much. Satiated Skater resubscribed with Prime, subscriber for 2 months. Thank you. Aussie Plant Dragon resubscribed with Prime. They've been subscribed for 5 months. Love your work. If you ever need a graphic designer, hit me up. Haha. Oh, Aussie Plant Dragon, reach out to me. DM me on Twitter or email me. Could be interested. Let's see. Let's see. Amused Mob with a resubscribe with Prime, subscriber for 18 months. Don't mean to shame you, Matt, but 0 to 60 makes a difference. Oh, I was talking about that Tesla thing last week. Here in Connecticut, there are some highway on-ramps where you go from a dead stop to an in the middle of a highway traffic as soon as you get on the road. So as fast as possible is great. But all that being said, I'd much rather a more robust public transportation system and walkable cities. Yes. Robot Monkey Cat resubscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Subscriber for 26 months. I posted a video on the Discord that has a device designed to help you from getting attacked from behind. Dom3L resubscriber Prime. Subscriber for 17 months. Wait, Robot Monkey Cat, it just hit me. 26 months. My God. Thank you, Robot Monkey Cat. And thank you, Dom3L, 17 months. Left is best. And I think these are from Leftist Mafia, which I read. Now we're on today's Super Chats. Rude Dog 2525, resubscriber Prime, subscriber for 14 months. Thank you so much, Rude Dog. Gyoza the Gyozarian, subscriber Prime. Thank you. Rebel Without a Cause, resubscribe with Prime, subscriber for 22 months. Thank you so much. Lord Hemmel, resubscribe with Prime, subscriber for 3 months. Valinova gave out 5 community gift subs. Thank you so much. And, got a raid about 45 minutes ago from Peacefire Now. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. And I think that's that. That's everything. That's the show. Over 2.5 hours. Even when I said we're going to wrap it up about an hour ago. Went that extra hour. Folks, Majority Report tomorrow. Leftist Mafia tomorrow. You'll see me online. I'm going to be working on launching that newsletter and getting other things going. If you can, Patreon.com/MattBinder. Other than that, if you're tuning into any of those shows tomorrow, see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next live stream. Have a great night, everyone. Oh, wait, who should I rate on Twitch? Almost forgot, because last week I didn't get a chance to, because I got booted from my stream. Who's on right now? Who should I rate on Twitch? You all tell me, who should I rate on Twitch? Who's on right now? You tell me who to rate. Who's Rathbone? All right. I'll rate Rathbone. Let me pull them up on the... what are they talking about? Let's see what they're talking about first. Want to make sure... Oh, I got 2 for Rathbone? Oh, wait, that's the same person. Just telling me how to find their... What are they talking about right now? It says I follow them. I think I rated them before. Who's Adrian Vixen? Have I ever rated them? Wait, hold on. Rathbone's page is opening up for me right now. I already said Rathbone. Let me do Rathbone. And then we'll do other people next week, obviously. But let me see. Why isn't it pulling up on my feed? I want to see what they're talking about right now. What is going on? He's wearing a mask. What are they talking about? I can't hear their audio for some reason. That's weird. Who's Charlotte Munster? No, they're playing Pow World. Hold on. 18 and over. I gotta press this to... Oh, I will not be... what are you... Who's Charlotte Munster? Are you sending me a OnlyFans person? Who is this? Why do I gotta press 18 older? Do I agree 18 and older? What am I gonna be seeing? Should I press yes? I agree to seeing this content. Who's NCC? Oh, no comment check. All right, I said Rathbone already, so I'm gonna do Rathbone. It's just easier. I never clicked that. I never clicked the agree to. I'll have to check out that 18 plus Twitch streamer on my own time. I'm not gonna click that on the stream for my stream's survival purposes in terms of don't want YouTube taking me down or anything. I have no idea what I'm gonna see there. All right, here we go. Rating Rathbone. All right, folks. I will see you all next time on the stream. Have a great night.